Chelsea trashed Westham 3 goals to 0. 2 goals from Jackson, 1 goal from Palmer, and 1 assist from Jackson. It was a total thrashing. The first half, first 20 minutes, Chelsea are already 2 goals up in that game. Okay, John, if you look at that game, what did they get wrong? Do you think that Chelsea was good or West Ham was really bad?
If you listen to the post-match interview with Jackson, Jackson made a very telling statement. He said that they wanted to score early so that they can control the game, being that they are playing away from home. And I think it fell into their plans because that fourth minute goal from Jackson put them in control. And then at the 18th minute, he was able to get a second one. And from there, West Ham were chasing the game for the remainder of the 75 minutes in the game. And so it was a good tactical strategy from Maresca, and it made them control the game. They weren't under pressure to come out and attack, rather they could lay back and allow West Ham come out. And you saw that the 2 goal scoring opportunities that they utilized were pockets of space where you have players overlapping, nobody's covering up those space, and Jackson was able to exploit that for the first one. For the second one, you saw the splitting pass from Caicedo to Jackson again, and for the third one, it was Jackson himself now playing Palmer on. So West Ham have failed to implement the high line they played with. A couple of times their defenders and midfielders were cut out of position, and Chelsea made them pay.
Okay, if you look at the first half, if you notice that Chelsea played in the middle, normally everyone will be thinking that they will probably use their wings, that means Sancho and Madueke. But you rarely see them get the pass. Everything went through that midfield. The first goal through that midfield. The second goal was a lovely pass from Caicedo through that midfield. Do you think that what is Maresca's plan? Do you think that playing from the middle is better in his own plan than playing for the wings? Even though the second half, I noticed they start moving the balls again to the wings. So I think it's a total complete package for Chelsea, but Maresca, he's cooking. What do you think he's cooking?
Maresca is cooking. If you saw in that first half, you see, when your enemy is making a mistake, you don't correct him. Maresca exploited the miscommunication between, what's his name now, Ederson Alvarez and Guido Rodriguez, the two DMs playing for West Ham, because those two guys got it wrong in the first half, and Chelsea were just funneling their passes through their midfield. You could see that when the second pass came in from Caicedo to Jackson, none of them were anywhere to be found in the middle, and that is the middle. Now look at the backward pairing of Mavropanos and Max Kilman. Nobody was found in that same center pairing at the second goal too. So Enzo Fernandez was able to read the game, and he's also built Chelsea up in such a way. Let's look at their back four, Chelsea's back four.
They were good.
They were comfortable on the ball. Tosin and Colwill, fantastic. You have Fofana on the right hand, and you have what's his name now, Correa on the left. Solid back four. If you see the way they played out of the back, passing the ball. You can never see any of them under pressure from players and losing the ball.
They are not under pressure because West Ham is not putting them under pressure.
Yes, but then they were able to hold off this onslaught from West Ham, and they showed comfortably that they are able to hold on to the ball in that midfield. You look at the combination between Enzo and Caicedo, fantastic combination again. They are now able, with these players at the core in that midfield now, to play that midfield attack. And when you look at opportunities, let me say, when West Ham had an opportunity to have an attack on Chelsea's defense, you see that what's his name now, Sanchez also being able to play pinpoint passes to Madueke, to Jackson as well. You saw that one, he played straight to Jackson as a counter attack. Jackson took the ball and went into the opponent's 18 straight up. It shows you that Chelsea have a lot of tools in their boxes, and it depends on how Maresca wants to deploy them.
Okay, let's talk about Sancho, because Sancho, he didn't really play well. He tried, he got an assist for that Jackson, but Jackson did all the work for the first goal. But Sancho, moving forward, should he be starting based on what he played today? Sorry, because it's like you are seeing the old Sancho, the guy that had this flair, these flicks, but no end product, no reasonable moving forward.
We saw it again today. The difference between Sancho and Madueke is that Madueke, when he's bearing down on the 18, he has that physical presence. People are scared to come and close him down because they could concede a penalty or they could free up space for whoever is going to pass. Nobody is expecting Madueke to take a shot when he's bearing down on the 18. They are trying to box him out. They are trying to give him that man marking and also keep an eye on whoever is in the 18 with them, because they feel Madueke can give somebody the ball and that person scores for Chelsea. Whereas with Sancho, everybody knows Sancho wants to do his tricks, he wants to dribble, he wants to do a couple of step overs, and we all know Sancho is always out for himself. Let's call it as it is. You saw the opportunity he had going into the 18. He did a few step overs. People were in the 18 waiting for the ball. He could have passed the ball. So, when it comes to the final product, it's still lacking for Sancho. But he gave a very credible performance today. He deserves to be in the running for a starting point.
Okay, let's see what Sancho, if they are going to start the next game, because depending on how you want to see, do you need play as expected? But let's move on to West Ham. What was the problem with West Ham? If you see that particular game, we both of us saw it. That Wan-Bissaka's position, that's the right back. Wan-Bissaka kept attacking, and I was shouting on top of my voice, this guy is good at defending. He's a guy that even if it's 2 against 1, you are sure more than 60% that he will come out with a clean tackle and collect the ball. But you see him, he kept attacking and he left that space open. Do you think the coach got it wrong playing that kind of formation?
For me, I won't say the coach got it wrong, but the strategy the coach utilized was not right. In West Ham right now, if you look at this game, 80% of the chances created came from that right wing.
That's what I'm saying.
And in the first half, it was Kudus playing on that right wing. In the second half, it was Bowen playing in that right wing. But if you look at the two halves, you are going to see every single one of them relying on what's his name now, Wan-Bissaka up front. Either you hold up the ball and he makes that run in, and you give him the ball and he crosses it in, or he's the one holding up the ball, trying to cross or create a dribble. So when you're playing in that, because that's the instruction from the manager,
that's the instruction,
so play down that wing. But him playing in that wing, I wouldn't dwell too much on him because he's working with instructions. But that instruction should have been changed because it's not working out. If you look at the first goal, they considered a free kick and he did not recover in time. In fact, he wasn't even cognizant of the fact that they were going to play a 1-2 off him. He wasn't looking back. Jackson had gone forward. Jackson was behind him and he's meant to be the fullback covering that position. And the striker has already gone behind you. Now the player you are tracking up in front of you, the player is not even on the ball. It's when he saw Fernandez, Sancho make that pass into Jackson. He turned back and saw that Jackson was behind him, So his awareness in that scenario was not nice. But that instruction driving him forward is what caused those lapses to appear. So I think they should have looked for another option. Either you're going to play through the left wing and have him sit back in the defense, because him sitting back in the defense, you saw him over 4 occasions, he was able to knock Chelsea off the ball and get the ball.
In the second half,
yes, in the second half. So I think they need to look at it. And then secondly, if you look at the likes of Bowen and Antonio, a couple of times when they dropped Bowen out of the attack into the right flank, Bowen was leaving that right flank to go back into the center. We saw him in the first half in that center not create anything. Finally, Antonio has been introduced into the game. You are leaving your wing now to go back to that center.
He's coming superstar.
And he couldn't produce anything. Coming down from that wing, you can't cross the ball into the 18. You can't bring other players into the 18, and you leave that position. You want to go back to where you struggled in the first half. I think West Ham got it wrong. The instructions, they got it wrong, and they need to remedy the situation before they start entering into a relegation battle.
Guys, now talking about that relegation battle, there are only 4 points out of 5 games. They have won 1, drawn 1,
and lost
3, which is very poor considering the amount they spent this summer.
Yes.
Then again at West Ham, what is wrong with Todibo? Todibo is one young talent that everybody was looking out for. At some point, Manchester United was trying to buy him.
Yes.
At some point, I think Juve had already agreed a term to bring him to Ring, but
Yes.
the whole thing fell through. Then West Ham paid and he moved to West Ham. This is the 5th game of the season. He has not started one game. What is the problem?
You know, I really can't say what the problem is. Todibo is somebody that we expected to see at Manchester United or Turin, like you rightly said, but he finally ended up going to West Ham. Now he couldn't go to United because Ineos team owned
Yes.
both the two clubs. But even now at West Ham, I'm yet to see Todibo start a game. I'm yet to also see him come off the bench and play in the Premier League. Rather, you are seeing a Max Skillman start. And Max Skillman today, you saw him give the ball away a couple of times in the match. You saw him also not tracking back with Mavropanos in the centre back. So I feel that Todibo should be starting. I can't understand why he's not starting. And you know, if you look at the back four for West Ham, they need his character in that back four. And it was glaring for everybody to see that pairing at the back was not working. How do you have an opponent enter into your 18 just like that and you have two centre halves? You don't see this thing happen even at Arsenal with the likes of Saliba and Gabriel. You don't see players waltz into the 18 just like that on man, and that showed that West Ham need to go back to the drawing board because they need to
try something else.
Yes.
Try Todibo. That's my own. Try Todibo. If these two centre half are not giving you, so remove one. Try Todibo because we are yet to see this young man. This young man is a talent and everybody was looking for him and
Yes.
he's not starting. Okay, finally Maresca. Do you think that Chelsea, they are second on the log even though they have played 5 games? They are second on the log with 10 points. Do you think that Chelsea, Maresca can challenge for this title based on the way they have played in the last 3 games?
I think it's too early to call. They have a side that should be competing for a top 4 finish in the Premier League, no doubt. I think if Maresca ends up in a top 4 position and a Carabao Cup or FA Cup, he's had a fantastic season. And he has earned his right to stay in on the job. But for them to be in the running for the title this season, a lot of things need to still come in. Let's not forget that he's still working with just 21 players.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. Any not to any of the key guys, and you know he's frozen out these other guys.
I think I saw Chilwell. Chilwell was back in training.
Yes.
Even though he's not part of the squad, but he's back in training with the first
He's
team.
back in training with the first team. He's still up for transfer in January too.
Yes.
So he's not fully back into the side. And you have to look at them. 21 players to play in 4 competitions this year is a small team. You need more depth in the side, and just need to find a way to either sell off some of these
What
players.
are talking about depth? There are 45 players. They can bring some back to
There
the
are
first team.
45 players, but you have a group of players who are angry, who have been frozen out of the team.
Bring
How do
them
you
back.
call them back into the first team when you left them
Just
out
know-
of the plan
just
from the
know they pay
beginning?
them. This is paying them. If you don't have,
See.
what I'm saying that you can't talk about small squad. You have a whole lot of number of players, 45. Even if you say you are not working with 30 of them, that's your business. But the thing that you can always go and take a 1, 2, 3, join the team, and they will join. Whatever will be happy to join.
How many of them will be
team.
happy to play for you?
Why won't they be happy?
After playing how many months on that 23 team?
It's possible.
And you call on them maybe when you need them the most.
But generally, do you think that they can win this league, or they can battle for this league title?
I'm not giving it to Chelsea. They have to end that right. They've not
So
shown me consistency.
when do you think that they can end that right?
If they are in the top 4 at January, they should be in the conversation.
Okay, that game ended 3-0. Chelsea scoring 2 quick goals in the first 20 minutes of that game. After that, Jackson provided an assist for Palmer and he scored that beautiful goal and did his celebration.
Yes.
So Chelsea winning that game in the first half, already won that game in the first half, 3-0. The second half, they played a comfortable football. They were sitting deep because West Ham was just dribbling. Kudus was dribbling. Bowen was dribbling.
No end products.
Paqueta was there. Everyone was just dribbling without no end products. Nobody who can think in that West Ham team. They were just dribbling. When they finish dribbling, they will pass back or they will kick the ball away. But Chelsea started deep and actually managed that game in the second half, and they comfortably won that game 3-0. Now, John thinks that we should wait till January to see if Chelsea are title contenders. Okay, let's wait. Let's see how Maresca and Chelsea will progress because he is doing a great job. and they won this game 3 goals to nil. See you guys next time.